Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We're here Tuesday evening for a live stream. I don't know what track we're at, but we're with the Suzuki Swift Endurance Cup Challenge Championship. Well, Suzuki Endurance Cup. I shouldn't mess around right off the top, should I? I should be all serious. Yes, the championship is on round 5, and we're at Brazil. That's it, Brasilia. Yes. For some reason I had it in my head we were at Spa, but no, we're at La Brazil. Just about to hit into qualifying. I think we're running late, and that is possibly my fault, as I was not quite ready at the beginning of the stream, or the 8 o'clock. I wasn't ready before 8. Koi in the chat saying Interlagos, lol, and Homescaling saying evening, and Racer Brown saying hello. Hello, can you go? So here we and we're seeing Snorlax there pulling some moves, and this is the championship where they use the Suzuki Swift Group 4, and they qualify on racing hard tyres for 10 minutes, go into a 60-minute race where they should start on the hard tyres. At some point in the 60 minutes, they may pit twice for 2 sets of racing soft compounds that they can only use for a maximum of 5 laps. It's like a turbo boost for 5 laps. So yes, and then they got to finish the race on hards, and it does kick up some interesting movement within the pack. Now I know it looks like there's only 6 people, but I believe we've got someone else on the way. I think the brown is coming at the end of quali, but I'm not overly sure. I don't want to 100% get your hopes up that you're going to see the brown streak and him not be here. So, you know, Bandit in the chat saying good evening. Bazza is saying good evening, Thingy. I wonder what name you come up. I don't know what you're talking about. And Mama Homesick saying hi, Thingy. How are you on this fine evening? And Bandit saying, don't forget your beverage is to my side. It's there. It's ready. Skyjack is saying good evening. And Ensign, you're also saying good evening all. So he's not just saying hello to me. He's saying hello to all of you people out there. Nice. So we're going into qualifying, which is good. We're going into pitch black qualifying. Is it night time? Oh, it must be early morning. I'm guessing the sun shall rise whilst we watch our brethren drive around this incredible race track, and I will let you know what the table looks like. So at the top is Homesick Alien on 70 points. In second place, we're sat on board with him, is Snorlax. He's on 62 points. Racer Brown is third on 57 points, and he's already dropped around. This will be his second round he drops. Do I have to do anything? It's got no names on them. That's right. It's just seeing, I didn't know if I have to take their names off and put the things up, but we don't. So they're off out on their outlap at the moment here for round 5 of the Suzuki Endurance Cup. And we said Homescaling's at the top, 70 points. Snorlax is in second on 62 points. Racer Brown is third on 57 points. Ensenua is 4th on 53 points. Guesty is 5th on 52 points. Jim is 6th on 49 points. Bazza is 7th on 42 points. Joker's 8th on 27 points. Bandit is 9th on 24 points. And Majid is 10th on 18 points. And I think Majid already said he couldn't make this one. And Guesty is stuck in Ipswich, I think. What a place to be stuck in. Pat in the chat. Pat chat saying hiya. Hiya, Pat. So let's follow the championship leader around for his first flying lap at Interlagos, and already the sun is rising. Into the first corner, looking for his braking mark. Taking a big chunk of that curve. You want to try and straight line this one as much as possible. Swings it the other way and back again, and it's a beautiful corner as he comes around onto the first straight of the lap, going slightly downhill into a very tricky corner. I'd say you can carry a little too much speed if you don't brake enough. and you go right out wide on that green stuff, which is very slow. And Mr. Brown slipping in to the lobby like we wouldn't notice. And so far everything looks hunky-dory on board with the Alien. He's touching up those apexes very nicely. And again, swinging the Suzuki, even on hard tyres, it looks like he's getting the car to go where he wants it to go, and it's looking very neat and tidy at the moment. And again, over that apex, flooring it down the hill towards, I think, one of the most trickiest corner. You can take a lot of speed through there as you're going uphill, but if you do take too much speed, you end up out there, and that is why it's a tricky corner. And then the second straight, I say straight, look, he's got to lift round here and let some people by. Get a tow though off of Jim, and it looks like Jim heading towards the line. We were on the wrong car for the pole. Jim gets pole. Homesick 3.3 seconds behind him, and it was Snorlax that gets second place, only 3/10, well, close to 4/10 off of Jimbo. Majid, oh no, Majid is here, sorry, I thought Majid said he couldn't make this one. He's 2.3 seconds. He must have lost a whole heap of time somewhere around this lap. Ensign Ewart goes in strong, 400ths faster than Jim Bob, and Ensign Ewart then sitting on pole after the first. Well, Bazza, has he crossed the line yet? He has, and he posted a slower time than the Alien, unfortunately. And, Barry Twins. A bit of tyre smoke going on there, but I think it's just the bad code, we like to call it. But I know it frustrates poor old Baz. He just wants to get his race on, you know. And the internet lords are just being cruel to him at the moment with the strange lag that he seems to be having to deal with. Ensign Ewart, meanwhile, on that pole, sitting pretty. 400ths from Jim. Let's have a look at Jim. He's just coming up to the line now. Can he find that 400th of a second to put himself ahead of Ensign Ewart? Not this round, not this lap. Home Snorlax finds a whole heap of time. Snorlax up into pole. He's going from strength to strength, this lad, since starting this championship. And Majid getting fourth, but I think did Jim get in there just... I thought I saw Majid pop up into third and then drop down to fourth, but no. But Majid up into fourth. Bazza now, it might have been Bazza slipping a time in there. And Homesick still unable to put a competitive lap time in. Some 3.5 seconds off of pole and 2.3 seconds off of the Baz. Meanwhile, Snorlax, 7/10. That's a hefty bit of time for Ensign to find. He's 2,000th off his own time at the moment. Ooh, and he's found that slow green stuff, but it didn't seem to slow him down too much. I thought it put you down to a snail's pace when you hit that bad boy. And we're already 6 minutes through qualifying, with only, 3.5 minutes left to go. It's just a lap and a bit around here at Interlagos in these Swifts. And Ensign Ewart, we saw he went very wide at the bottom of the hill, so I'm not hoping for much out of this next sector. I don't think, was there only 2 sectors? No, it's just round here, sorry. We'll check it out as others cross the line. Doesn't look like anyone's gone faster yet. Yes, they have. Jim, second fastest. Homesick finally getting a competitive time in there, going third. And there's nothing else on there with Ensign Ewart heading up the hill to see what the damage is, I didn't look at his sector time down, so it's probably a lot down. Yeah, it's not beating anything, that bad boy. And Majid is just starting a fresh lap. He's got nearly 4 tenths to find on Ensign Ewart. He's 300ths of a second ahead of Bazza, and he's up. He's up, but not enough to get ahead of Ensign. Hopefully he can build on those couple of tenths as he makes his way around here at Interlagos in the Samurai Swift. He's looking for a good result here, Majid. Get some points on the board. He's in that battle with Bandit, it seems. He's chasing down the Bandit in the championship. 6 points adrift. No Bandit tonight, due to shifts, I think. And yeah, Majid then 900, still not enough to pick on Ensign Ewart's scalp, but it will draw him a bit closer. He can gain some time up the hill. There's a car just ahead of him, so he could get a small tow. I don't think he can. Oh, I don't know though. He's getting closer. Homesick's gone faster. He's gone second fastest as Majid heads towards the line. And he's up on his own time, but not enough to unsettle Ensign from fourth. Bazza comes to the line, but that's not faster. Snorlax on pole at the moment by 3 tenths of a second. Homesick Alien hunting for that position. We're into the last minute. He's down at the first sector, is Homesick Alien. So Snorlax may be safe. Jimbo is also a threat. Only half a second off of pole. He's down a bit on his final lap. Ensign Ewart then, has he got any last minute surprises? Someone's gone into the pits, so they're obviously not managing to get anything out of it. He's up 2 tenths. Exactly what he needs on Jim, but he lost control into the corner. He's gained it back, but I don't know, it looked wiggly into that final corner. And yes, Ensign Ewart might be in with a chance here to get third place on the grid from Jim. Let's go back then. Got Snorlax starting to come up the hill. The last we saw of him though, it didn't really matter because Homesick Alien's off the road and Jim was well down, so Snorlax, it looks like his pole is cemented. And a great job done by the Monster Swift driver. Beautiful stuff. Here he goes. Crosses the line, doesn't matter because he's got Homesick Alien beat. Homesick Alien can't go faster on this final lap. Excuse me, slowing down on the line. Jimbo, we saw he was over 2 seconds down. So Ensign Ewart is the only threat, I think. But I don't think he's going to find 7 tenths in this final lap. We saw he was a tenth or two up as he comes towards the line. No, 7 tenths down. Majid's at the side of the road. Bazza, he's finished, and that's your grid, ladies and gentlemen. Snorlax, is that his first pole? It could be with us. Snorlax getting pole here at Brazil. Great stuff. Homesick Alien alongside him, the championship leader, looking to get good points. Racer Brown will be joining, don't forget. He'll be at the back of the grid. Jim on the second row alongside Ensign Ewart. That's a strong battle there between those two. And even Jim could sneak one ahead of the Alien off the start. And then we have Majid and Bazza battling out on row 3, and Racer Brown just tucked up behind them. Can Bazza and Majid keep the Brown bar behind for long? Kenchan Delhi is the sponsor of Majid's car, and we like to call it the Samurai. Beautiful stuff. So we're waiting for the timer of quali. It's always a fun random bag of how long these things can last for, and what crap can I talk about in the meantime. We've got Kinetic Neutron in the chat with a emoji face with sunglasses, I think. We've got Koi Carp also saying Ensign for the win. Majid saying, you guys in the chat, come join us. Koi saying, congrats to Snorlax for what I believe is the first VRC poll. Well done. Pat, excuse me, Pat Chat. I think that's a debut poll. I haven't got my spreadsheet open, though. I bet you haven't. That's what she said. And Koi saying, looks like Majid's driver is dead with his head down, lol. He's just texting. And Majid saying he is, lol. Now, I thought you were just texting. So, looks like we're going to have a race start in the dark. Let's get my warm brew on, eh? Oh, God damn it, that's good. Oh, that's nice. I like that yellow tin. That's his glasses in. That's the Baz. I think I noticed the Baz has got yellow lights. But it makes it look like he's got a yellow tint on his screen. Why are we even guessing? We could just add such wonderful things. It is Bazza with the yellow lights, but I don't think it's going to stay dark for long. There is Mr. Brown taking his place at the back, and that is the grid order, is it not? No, Bazza was behind Ensign and Majid. Snorlax, pole sitter, takes to the track. See what these early morning conditions look like, but it's too late, as we will be going into a 60-minute race anytime soon. And Koi saying, what is your choice of hot beverage this evening? It's always a latte, but I don't like to say it because it is a bit poncy. It's a coffee, all right? Big, hard man, strong brew coffee. Yeah, I like a latte. It's throughy. It's like a... excuse me, what's all the coughing about? I like to think of it as it's like a warm coffee milkshake. It's gone. Are they racing? No, thank God. You know what? I get myself carried away sometimes. I suddenly panicked and thought, Jesus, I'm just sat in the lobby and they could be possibly racing. But they're not. Oh, for God's sake, what is this with in-car thing? You scared to show a car driving down the pit lane? Polybaloney? What's the matter with you? Haven't coded for that? Nutcases. We're working on Gran Turismo 8 now, apparently, I've heard. That's ridiculous. We haven't even finished 7 yet. Right, we're getting ready. We're not going to start going down that route. We start going down that route, it's all... Ooh, latte, suits you, sir. So I mean, it is a little bit, isn't it? I don't like to advertise. That's why it's a hot beverage. It doesn't sound as like, you know, I'm an 80s yuppie with my latte. And apparently Italians think it's ridiculous that we drink it at night because it's a breakfast drink. You don't drink it in the evening. So I found out. It should be an espresso if I wanted anything at this time of night, but nothing so milky. So Homescalian's asking if we're ready. Oh my God, am I ready? Talking about lattes. Ensign, what's the big idea? And Baz, oh, he's not even here. What's the matter with the pair of you? Did he have a word? Because you did it last Tuesday. Yeah, but the R feels good. It makes you feel good. And Kinetic Neutron saying, gaming, Majid that is, I'd love to, but I'm in US EST, so I'm at work for another hour. Buggering heck, man. I had a long day today. Is this it? No, this is still practice. I had a long day today. It's a bummer, man. That last hour's a killer as well. It's like the slowest hour in the world. It's not fair. But you gotta battle on through. Try and distract yourself. Find something on YouTube you can just stare at. Try and kill the hour. Ironically, we're doing this for an hour, so if you hung around, I can kill that last hour of work for you, man. Easily. So Snorlax on pole. It's going to put me in the blooming car. We love that. Thank you very much. And we'll try and do all this before they get anywhere. It's going not too well. Oh, then the camera points the wrong way. But Snorlax looks like he's had a great start there ahead of the alien. Jim holding on to third, but it looked like Ensign was having a look up the inside in the first corner. But no, Jim's held it out. And Magic's just flown in there from nowhere. Absolutely pounding Ensign Hewitt to the side of the road. But Ensign Hewitt's coming back at Magic. And Bazza and Racer Brown further there on their tails. Snorlax, though, beating off the alien on the outside. And Snorlax there is the winner in that corner as he stays in the lead from the alien. But the alien will not give up that easily. He's going to be on him, and he's going to be on him like a rash. So Snorlax, you better get your cream out, because this could be irritated. And Homesick then all up in Snorlax's business. Jimbo maintaining that third from Ensign Hewitt. Majid has dropped a position to Ensign, with Bazza still ahead of the Brown. The Brown cannot make up ground. He's not done any practice, though. He's not had the qualifying and the 30 minutes prior to qualifying to get his warm up on. So come the 15-minute mark of that race, that man will be primed and ready to go. Snorlax, meanwhile, edging away from Homesick Alien. And the Homesick Alien may be happy just to sit there and see what Snorlax does now at this point. Jimbo, 6/10 ahead of Ensign, so it's all to play for on board. With Ensign Hewitt looking back there, we can see Majid, Bazza and Racer Brown. Ooh, Racer Brown getting a cheeky move on the Baz. And there's a little tit for tat going on there, but it's all good. And Majid going a little wide out of the bottom of that corner. And Racer Brown having a very good look at him. So, but we've got Ensign Hewitt right on Jim's business side. And we can read the stickers on the back of his car. That's how close we are. But Jimbo, he knows what to do. And so we look at Ensign Hewitt's flash new helmet. Beautiful stuff there. He's got very nice shine to it. He's definitely been rubbing his helmet recently, you can see. And as he chases down Jimbo, he's got Racer Brown now. I was thinking of coming out, and coming back to the battle with Racer Brown and Majid. But Majid now is in a battle with the Baz. I can never remember what the girl's called out of Wreck-It Ralph. Now, what? Jimbo he's struggling there with something. Ensign Hewitt's going for the move, but he pulls out of it, and that has got to leave him open to Racer Brown as they come up the hill, nearly 3 wide, and it's all shuffles. They're shuffling. They're nearly 4 wide now, with Majid coming into the fray, and it's all over the place. Oh no! Jimbo has gone. He's wiped out, and I don't know why or how or what or if or when. But I know when, just now. But all the other things I am unsure of. And there goes Majid for a move on Ensign Hewitt, and Baz is in there as well. And it looks like Racer Brown might be hanging around a bit. No, he's continuing on. I didn't know if he was hanging on for Jim. Oh, that is a kick in anyone's balls on any one day. And Snorlax then still leads this race by 8/10 from Homesick Alien. Ensign Hewitt in a strong 3rd place, but Majid is all up in his business. He's gone for the move now as Majid, and he's through. No, he's not. Hush my mouth. Think before I speak. And Ensign Hewitt holds the line, and Majid yet to get the move done, and Bazza's right in there in the action as well. He wants it, he needs it. And Racer Brown playing catch up, but his game of catch up isn't. Oh, there's an off, was there? I saw dirt getting kicked up. Majid, where is he? He's still there, but he's dropped behind the Baz, so I think Majid went a little wide there, bit of a mucky tyre. He's trying to defend against Racer Brown, and there is really no defence when it's the Brown. And the Brown is in there, under brakes, straight through and up and at him. And Racer Brown then just getting warmed up. He's limbering up a little bit. He's had practice with Majid and Jimbo, we saw, slipping off the track. And now he's just, he's got a fun... I mean, 9 seconds out, we've seen people coming back from that. He's just got to get his head down, get some good laps in, get the right strategy on the go, and he will surely be up and at him. Meanwhile, Snorlax, 8 tenths, he cannot shake that pesky alien away. And Skyjacker in the chat saying, speaking from experience, Italian is cappuccino in the morning, then espresso all day, even up till 10 o'clock after dinner. Yeah, that's, yeah. But yeah, cappuccino and latte, I was told, were breakfast coffees, not for the afternoon. Shame on me. And Majid in the chat saying, you ain't missing nothing then, lol. And Kinetic Neutron saying 100%. That last hour, I think he's talking about. But Snorlax, he's on it. He's on fire. Come on. Ooh, my car is on fire. But Homesick Alien is ready to waft those flames out in a second, in a heartbeat. One small mistake, and Snorlax knows it. He knows. He's raced with the Alien for 4 to 5 rounds now. This is the 45. 4 rounds. This is the 5th round. It was 4-2-5, but it's even in my head I heard 45. Well, it's not a 45 round championship. What am I talking about? But yes, so Snorlax knows the Alien is good. He knows the Alien is leading the championship. He knows the Alien is creeping up closer to behind him, and that is a lot of pressure to be under. So Snorlax trying to not put a foot wrong. I love how he's still got a rookie sticker on. He's had a podium already this season, I think, and he's got a pole. So he's had a couple of podiums. So that's amazing. I love it. Rookie of the season. And Homesick Alien then, ooh, he thought he saw a small space there, but Snorlax was not to let that one be. Let's have a look at what else is going on in this race. There's more cars. Ensign Ewart 2 seconds ahead of Majid, who's ahead of Bazza, who he wasn't ahead of Bazza, so there's been movement there. Bazza slipped back, and Racer Brown, he was closing in on those gang. They've all had a bit of 48.5 for Racer Brown last time around, 47.3 for the Baz. And Majid, he didn't get hurt like the other two, so I don't know if Baz and Racer Brown had a bit of a coming together. Coughed at the wrong time there, didn't I? I don't know what it is. I'm not ill. I just seem to have this tickle. Maybe a little Red Bull will wash that bad boy away. We'll try it. Do you know what? It's just occurred to me, with Baz and Racer Brown having their moment of whatever, has put Jimbo back into it. Look at him. He's getting his fastest lap of the race. He's closing in 4 seconds behind. And the race might not be over for Jim, as we first thought. Homesick Alien's got the lead. Homesick Alien smashed it. I bet he got the toe up the hill. I should have watched. And yeah, he's managed to get that lead and the fastest lap of the race away from Snorlax, and now it's Snorlax's turn to apply a bit of pressure. And applying the pressure he is, as we can see. He's right there. He's going for a move. He's going for a move. Oh my lord, he might pull it off, but oh, he does. Sweet. No, Homesick Alien coming up against him up the hill. He's got the inside line as Homesick Alien, and Homesick Alien claims the corner as his own. Snorlax says, okay, next one. Pat in the chat saying, isn't it a technically full season that needs to be completed before the rookie sticker can be taken off? I'm not sure, man. I thought it's just, you know, when the admin deem that it's because I think they've told people they can take them off early. I do think it has happened before the end of a season. It's just it's when someone new joins, it's just to let the other drivers know we don't know how they race. We don't know if they're ultra fast. We don't know if they're, I wouldn't even say slow. No one's really slow. And it's weird when you join these groups because your speed goes faster anyway. You always seem to gain more pace when you race with other people if you haven't done it that regular. So it's there for everyone. It's not just there for the driver who has to carry it. It's there for those to let everyone know we're unsure. And then as soon as the admins can see that we haven't got a lunatic, we haven't got a basher, we haven't got, one of those 17-year-olds in a Nova in McDonald's car park, then they can take the sticker off. And at the moment, Snorlax getting purples. So Homesick Alien isn't able to pull away. We're 10 minutes, coming up to 11 minutes into this race. No one has opted to go on to the soft tyre yet. And we've got a lovely tight battle between Snorlax and Homesick Alien. It's hard to pull away from. Ensign, I think he's all on his own at the moment. And so is Majid. But there's something happening behind. No, here we go. No. Majid has caught up with Ensign Ensign with a 42.3 last time around. And Majid's pulled off a 41.8. He has closed the gap between himself and Ensign Racer Brown's ahead of the Baz. And he's leaving the Baz for dust. And Bazza is dropping back into Jim. Jim was 4 seconds off of Racer Brown. And since he's pulled in a few tenths of a second on Bazza. So Bazza has got to be very careful. He did a 43.6 last time around. Jimbo smashing in those 41s. He's going to close the gap on the Baz. Meanwhile, Racer Brown, 11, 12 minutes in, he might have just about warmed up. He might be just about ready. He's done 2 140s in a row, and he is definitely closing in on Majid. Where's Ensign? Ensign's managed to pull away. No, Ensign's gone in. He's decided it's time for those soft tyres, and it looks like at the moment he is the only one who thinks that's a good idea, and I could not condone or say it's bad. I mean, no one else has done it, and Homesick Alien has a real stress on at the moment, with Snorlax having another look at him. Snorlax looking like I thought he backed out of that, but he's there on his tail, and Snorlax might slip one up him coming up the hill into the hairpin. Heavy braking. He might fancy it, go for a late dash. No, he's going out nice and wide though, taking a lovely corner where Homesick's having to drive a little bit more defensive and compromising his corners more. And Snorlax up the hill. He's got a lovely run on him now, and coming into the final, no, not the final corner. Where am I? Oh, we've got another hairpin. Sorry, I was ahead. And Snorlax getting it done in the hairpin, is ahead. But now Homesick Alien trying to slip it in there, and Snorlax then goes into the final corner ahead of the Alien, with the Alien getting a better line, is he? As they chase up the hill, and Homesick Alien will slip in there for a tow and try and get ahead of Snorlax into the first corner. Meanwhile, Ensign out of the pits. He's in the last place, and we'll have a look at how his progress goes along as Homesick Alien closes in on Snorlax. And Snorlax later on the brakes, is he going to go wide? No, he stayed in there. And interesting stuff. But Snorlax then leads this race from Homesick Alien. Majid is up into third as Racer Brown has decided to cover off Ensign and go into the pits. Ensign out there on his racing softs. 5 laps, start now. Well, yeah, start now because he's on his outlap. And he's going to try and make a big boost for himself as Snorlax tries to keep the Alien at bay. Majid in a strong third place, nearly 5 seconds ahead of the Baz, and he's lost more time to Jim. Jim closing the gap even more. Ensign Gets ahead of the Brown as the Brown comes out on his racing softs. And Ensign he was ahead of Racer Brown on track before the pit stops, and he remains ahead of Racer Brown. Jimbo, that's not where he was it? Yes, he is. He's closing in on the Baz. Sorry. Got myself confused a little bit there. Baz going faster than he's gone before. Last lap around. He's finding the groove. in his Deadpool Suzuki Swift. Majid in that third place. Homesick Alien, 1.6 seconds. He's dropped a bit of time to Majid. Majid has, Snorlax has found a chunk of time somewhere, 2 seconds on the Alien now. And the big question is, when are these two are going to go in for those soft tyres? Not yet, it seems. So Snorlax staying out in the lead with Homesick Alien chasing him down, and Homesick Alien 43.0. That'll be the 2 seconds that he's lost on Snorlax. Majid in a podium position at the moment, and it's only Ensign Ewart that's a threat to that, I believe. Jim's ahead of the Baz because the Baz has gone in. Bazza going into the pits to get rid of those hards and put a set of softs on. Ensign Ewart flying on his softs at the moment, a 40.3. But we saw Homesick Alien's done a 40.3 on the medium tyre. Not to take anything away from Ensign Ewart. It's only his first lap on those softs, or his first flying lap. Second lap. This is his third lap on the soft tyre before he has to go in and even put another set of racing softs on. Now he's getting purples. This is what we're talking about. He's 3 seconds ahead of the brown, but the brown is very dangerous with a set of racing softs. One to watch. Bazza out on the set of softs, and he's trying to keep Jim at bay, I imagine. Jim was closing in rather swiftly in his Swift, and yes, I think Bazza may have done that to cover off Jim's attack and try and get a jump on Jim. Majid there, not really racing anyone today. I think Ensign Ewart is his main race with, but he's saving those soft tyres for later in the race. We're at 17 minutes. Homesick Alien still holding that 2.5 seconds behind Snorlax. And no sign of any pit stops from these pair out there at the moment. And Snorlax looking rather comfortable out there in the lead, isn't he? It's looking like it suits him. He's wearing it well. So 60 minutes we're racing for, and we are well into a 17th minute now as Snorlax pops up a couple of purples for us to enjoy. Homesick Alien. Now fuel is not much difference between the two of them, and nor is tyre wear. So Snorlax could be on for his first VRC win in his first season. That would be beautiful. Majid 12 seconds adrift of the Alien. 13 seconds maybe. And it looks like Jim's starting to catch up Majid. Jim's on fire. Look at him. So I didn't want to write him off. I didn't want to write him off when he was 10 seconds down off the pack. But I've got to say, I mean, 4 seconds off of Majid, that's impressive stuff. He was catching the Baz pitted. And yeah, Majid doing 42s on the reg, whereas Jimbo, he's smashing at those 41s. Now, I didn't see anything in the thing about, it's not mentioned anything about weather tyres, wet weather tyres, so I'm assuming this one is going to be dry. I assume all of them are going to be dry this season. So there's no fear of those clouds turning into anything more than what they are. Just some pesky clouds, making it look a bit grey and gloomy. But Jimbo is he's knuckled down in this race. He smashed things some beautiful times, unbelievable consistency there from Jim, and he's taking names. Majid, there's not much you can say about Majid. He was close to Ensign, wasn't he? He was closing in on Ensign, and Ensign pitted. So his race is really with Ensign Ewart. Ensign looks to me like he could be on his final lap of those tyres. I don't know which one you count, I suppose. Yeah, this should be his 5th lap. And Racer Brown's tyres starting to come to life. 38.0, unbelievable stuff. I mean, Ensign got a 38.9. That last time around, those clouds do look scary, but I'm sure we're not going to see droplets. I don't even know if Brazil's got a rain setting anyway. check these things out, shouldn't I? Must be something to do with the paint with Snorlax in front. Oh, the Skyjacker connection. And now Racer Brown is all up in Ensign Newart's space, his personal space, but it's all right. Ensign Newart will be coming into the pits, and I suppose he'll be trying to keep the Racer Brown behind him all the way round this lap, just because he's a racer. Snorlax and Homesick both mimicking each other, coming in. Oh, and Racer Brown dropped it and got reset. Oh my word. Oh my lordy. He will be seething, and Majid copying suit of the leaders. Jimbo stays out, and would you believe it? Some 20 minutes and 40 odd seconds ago, this man, well no, about 19 minutes ago, this man was dead last and 10 seconds behind everyone, and at the moment it looks like he's going to take the lead, although Snorlax is coming down the pit lane. I think Jim is away from the pit entry, and Jim leads the race. Unbelievable stuff. And so there is Jim. He has not pitted for the soft tyre yet, but that doesn't mean anything. Snorlax out on the soft, Homesick Alien out on the soft, Racer Brown, oh, because Ensign's had to pit. Majid's gone in to put the softs on, and Ensign Newart has gone in to put another set of softs on, I believe. It looks like he's gone for a double stint in the middle of the race A. Well, not even the middle of the race, it's in the first half of the race, really. 22 minutes into this 60-minute race. And yes, Ensign Newart using his second set of soft tyres. And Majid on his first set of softs, on his first lap of those softs. Bazza, he's been on the softs now for, I think this is his fourth lap, if I count properly. But Bazza, he's got it into the 39s. Racer Brown ahead of him. He's on 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his fifth lap. Did you hear me count out loud? Because I can't count in my head. Isn't that sad? Quite embarrassing. So yes, he's on his, this is his final lap, didn't I just say? Yeah. Racer Brown coming in. He's either going to put another set of softs on or the hards. Captain Obvious. And Racer Brown, Bazza continues on to get his final lap on those soft tyres. And Majid, now will he come around to catch up? He's gone across the line. He's just started his first stint on those soft tyres. Racer Brown, he's not even at his pit lane yet. So yeah, Majid, way ahead of the Brown. Ensign Newart retakes the position from Racer Brown, but Racer Brown's been released. He's coming down the pit lane. Ensign Newart alongside him on track. These two, I think he's going to be held at a pit limiter, and he's on 85. Yeah, there goes Ensign, miles away. So Ensign Newart takes the position back. He's sitting in 6th on his second stint of softs. Racer Brown's also put another set of softs on. So both Ensign and Racer Brown are on their second stint of racing soft tyres. A maximum of 5 laps on those soft tyres. Then they'll have to go in. It's like a little boost in the middle of the race. And then we've got Majid. He's on his first stint. They get 2 sets of racing soft tyres to use, and Majid is on his first set. Bazza is coming to the end of his first set. This will be his final lap on those tyres, and will he double stint it? That should put him back behind Racer Brown, I believe. Homesick Alien and Snorlax are both on their first set of racing soft tyres. And Snorlax at the moment is doing a superb job under a lot of pressure from the Alien. And he's soaking it up. He's absolutely soaking it up. Jimbo hasn't used any soft tyres at the moment. He is leading this race, but on those hard tyres, he's not going to be able to hold back Snorlax. There goes Bazza, as he's just used those tyres. And we'll nip back to Baz to see if he's put another set of softs on. at the end of his pit stop, but at the moment we've got Jim being caught by Snorlax, and Jim on a 25-minute old set of hard tyres versus Snorlax that he's barely been on in 5 minutes. He's racing softs, and he catches up with Jim, and Jim leaving the door wide open for him, because what's the point of racing him? His race isn't with him, and Jimbo being very sensible with his racing. Indeed, superb stuff. And he gets a toe to boot. Homesick Alien, 3.5 seconds. What happened to him on his outlap? He lost a huge chunk of time, and now he's playing catch up for sure. It might not have been his outlap. Snorlax's was 45, his was a 46. It must be this lap. I'm sure he wasn't that far behind Snorlax when I cut to him. Jim has decided this is the moment, this is the time. He's going in for a pit stop, and Homesick Alien 38.6, not a bad lap time, so I don't know where he lost the time. It just seems to be that outlap. I don't know, interesting. So Jim's in the pits, so that'll help Majid back up into 3rd place. And Majid is racing Ensign today. Ensign's some 11 seconds behind Majid, but Majid hasn't used his 2nd set of racing softs yet. He's on his 4th lap of his 1st set of softs. Ensign Ewer. Oh, it's gone funny, hang on. I believe it's on his 4th lap of his softs. I can't be sure, because I can't work out those things. And Racer Brown is on his 3rd lap of his racing softs. No, because it's the... Yeah, I don't, because I get confused. The 2-minute one is their last lap on them. Yeah, so he's on his 3rd lap, sorry. Ensign Hewitt is on his 4th. We'll get there eventually. Bazza is on his 2nd. I think they're his 2nd set. Have we lost someone? No, Jim's come back out of the pits on the softs ahead of Ensign Hewitt. That he has got more pit stops to do than Ensign, in all fairness, but Ensign's got to go back in and put the hards on in a couple of laps, where Jim is got a lovely 4 or 5 laps to really put some distance between himself and Ensign, and Jim is having an absolute peachy race at the moment. And Racer Brown and Ensign, it's for real, their race at the moment. That 2.6 seconds, they've both used the same amount of tyres. Ensign will pit a lap ahead of Racer Brown, but it's a tight battle there between those two. Bazza, he's also on his 2nd stint of softs, so he will be pitting in 3 laps, I believe. He's only on his 2nd lap of those soft tyres. 8.5 seconds behind Racer Brown, who's 2 seconds behind Ensign Hewitt in 5th. Jim is 4th, and he's only just put the softs on. Majid, I think he's on, I don't know, I've lost track. He might have another set of softs to use, as has Homesick Alien. Or did they come in and put another set of softs on over the odds? I don't think they have. And Snorlax, 2.7 seconds in the lead of this race. Unbelievable job here by Snorlax. It's not easy jumping in with these guys, the likes of Racer Brown and Homesick Alien, to name just a few. And Snorlax is in it. So Snorlax coming in, he must have done his 5 laps, and Homesick Alien following him as well. Majid, I think, did a lap longer than them on the hard tyres. Or did he? No, you think he came in as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's on his 5th lap. So Majid will be coming in, and Jimbo on his racing softs, only on his 2nd lap. So Jim, he might be able to pull a bit of distance. Well, I'm guessing these 3 are going to go back onto another set of soft tyres, possibly. Oh, no, Jim's got to be ahead of him. I tell you what, they're just... Homesick has somehow jumped Snorlax in the pits. That's crazy stuff. How's he done that? It's got to be fuel. I wasn't keeping an eye on the fuel that much, but Snorlax may have put more fuel in than the Alien. And it's Jim that's leading on his softs ahead of Homesick Alien. Possibly maybe Snorlax popped in a little bit of fuel and Homesick didn't, but yeah, 201.0 was the pit stop lap for Homesick Alien. Snorlax a 2:09, so maybe it's all going to be in the out lap, who knows. Racer Brown right there. Ensign Newitt gone in and he's gone back to the hards. He's filled right up and he's going to try and take that car all the way to the end. 30 minutes. Can his fuel tank take him there? I haven't been keeping an eye on how the fuel's worn down. I don't think the fuel is a major issue here at Interlagos. It's only two medium straights, and it's you know, it's not a high-speed track, I would call it. So Ensign Newitt, that could be all right for him for the end of the race. Majid just ahead of him. I think that's the target. He's been in, put another set of softs on. Bazza is getting to the end of his soft run. I think that's his second stint. Racer Brown, he's got the fastest lap of the race. He's coming in. I'm not sure if that's his second stint on this track. Snorlax is on his second stint, and Jim's on his first stint. With softs still. Jim holding his own ahead of Snorlax. Racer Brown in. Where will that put him out? Majid just coming up towards the line. He's on his second set of racing softs. I've got a feeling Racer Brown's going to be putting hards on. Ensign Newitt miles away. Did he have a terrible... No, maybe he's not miles away. Racer Brown then fueling up for the end of the race like Ensign Newitt's done. And Majid, what are we thinking about when he goes to the hard tyre, what he's going to do at the end? Bazza flipping around all over the place. And Ensign Newitt then looking to try and get that position away from Racer Brown. Racer Brown's in the pit lane. Ensign Newitt's going through the first few corners. And Racer Brown, though, he's out on track and he's done it. He's beat Ensign Newitt in the strategies. And Racer Brown now ahead by 5 seconds. That's not right, is it? Surely. So Racer Brown doing a super job with those 37s. And, yeah, a couple of seconds faster than Ensign in the soft tyre run. And that has propelled him ahead of Ensign Newitt. So Racer Brown, every point counts at this point in the championship. Majid still on those soft tyres, still got 4 laps on him to go. Bazza not quite back on the hard tyre yet. It should be the end of this lap, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, here he goes, comes in to put on a set of hards and go all the way to the end, I believe. Jimbo is still smashing it out on his first set of softs, I believe. Oh, he's gone wide there, though. And that might give Homesick Alien the opportunity. He is. Homesick Alien's gone up. Jimbo just trying to find the track again. And the two leaders get by. And Jim, though, his race isn't with those two at the moment. It's with Bazza, Racer Brown, Ensign Newitt and Majid. Any of those will do. And I'm not sure who Jimbo is going to be racing with when he comes out of the pits. But Homesick Alien, what a turnout for the Bucks, eh? He got the move done in the pit lane. Interesting stuff. And Snorlax still probably can't believe what's gone off, what's occurred. So yeah, Homesick Alien's outlap was a 45.8, where Snorlax's outlap was a 50.2. So he was in the pits 5 seconds longer than the Alien, and that has cost him. He topped up with a bit more fuel than the Alien did, if the Alien put any fuel in at all. But we know Homesick Alien, he can make fuel, he can string that fuel out quite nicely, and I think that's what he's done. He's gone and got himself the fastest lap. A point for that off Racer Brown. I think Racer Brown's back on the hards now, so he's got no chance of taking that back. And Pat saying, could be a potential gain for the final stop for Snorlax, though. Maybe playing the long game. Yeah, I thought that. Maybe put the fuel in earlier. But it's not too much different from him and Homesick Alien. Jimbo then, this is what is going to happen. Who's he racing with? Majid back up into his third spot. They're changing the tyres furiously. They're going to have to fuel up. Racer Brown's coming up the hill around the corner. And Jimbo is out into the pit lane. I think Jim is going to end up ahead of Racer Brown. And what a turnaround of a race, it has to be said. And I know we've still got 25 minutes of racing to go here at Interlagos. Oh, he's still on another set of softs as well, isn't he? Oh, right, yeah. So he can pull away from her, Racer Brown even more. Ready for that final pit stop. But that's the jeopardy, and that is who I think he might be racing with. Racer Brown. He's just going to stay out there on the hards, keep trying to cane in good lap times. And Jim has got to absolutely floor it in these 5 laps on these softs to try and build up a huge buffer for his pit stop before Racer Brown. And it's going to be a tall order. I think Racer Brown might have that one. Ensign Newitt is looking doable for Jim, but Racer Brown might be a fight. Ensign Newitt then only 4 seconds ahead of the Baz. These two are back on the hard tyres, as is Racer Brown. And that's why Jim wants to make hay whilst the sun shines. And he's got to really kill those lap times. He's got to go on every apex. He's got to qualify 5 laps. Majid, his fuel's flashing, but he is coming to the end of his final racing soft run. As is Snorlax. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is his final lap. Just starting his final lap on the softs. As is the Alien. And this is the showdown in the pits. The fuel is pretty similar, so I think their pit stops are going to be somewhat the same. Majid just on a 39.4. Unbelievable speeds that they're finding in these little granny shufflers. Jimbo, he's on them softs. He's got to smash in some great times. He's 11.7 seconds ahead of the Brown. And I don't think it's going to be enough. It's Ensign Newitt he's needing to look at to stay ahead. Excuse me. I moved a can which made a noise in this room. I don't think you may have heard it, and then said excuse me for making a noise. How polite am I? So Ensign Newitt's 9.5 seconds behind Racer Brown. Homesick Alien pulls it in, so does Snorlax, and Majid will do in 24 seconds time. And this is the showdown then. This similar fuel, Snorlax a little bit more fuel. So ideally, Snorlax will probably be stopped less time than the Alien. But Homesick Alien's pit crew absolutely turned his race around in the last pit stop. What can they do this time? Snorlax is there. Majid has just entered. And here we go. The tyres are off. Fuel's on. Homesick Alien's fuel's on as well. Jimbo still finishing off the laps on his racing softs before he needs to pit. And he has pulled out a good amount of time to Racer Brown there. Homesick Alien into the pit lane, still ahead of Snorlax. Quite a bit ahead of Snorlax. Homesick Alien, is that enough fuel? Is that enough fuel to get to the end? We ask. That's how he's so far ahead. Snorlax, Jimbo's down to that much. What's Racer Brown on? Racer Brown is more like Snorlax's, 3/4 of a tank. Ensign Newitt, 3/4 of a tank. Majid, half a tank, just over half a tank. And Bazza, just over half a tank. Homesick Alien, he's playing. He's playing with his chances on that fuel reaching the end of the race, but it possibly must do. He must be able to. And Jimbo, still yet to make his pit stop. He's on his 3rd flying lap on those softs, trying to keep ahead of the Brown. And he's pulled away from Racer Brown quite consistently, quite nicely. Racer Brown doing a 43.9 last time around. That's not helping him in any such way. shape or form. And he's only 7 seconds ahead of Ensign Newer, who's going very nicely indeed, sir. Thank you very much. Majid, now it's all washed out. He's behind Ensign Newer. That's where his race was. He's only just ahead of the Baz. And the Baz is looking to get that place away. He's racing hard tyres, bedded in nicely. He's done a couple of laps on them. They're lovely warmed up, and Majid has to get used to his on his outlap. They can be tricky on the outlap sometimes. It looks like Majid has handled that one very nicely and kept Bazza at bay, it seems. Bazza, lovely helmet, representing the Belgian colours, and he's done a beautiful job in this race so far. As he tries to get the move done on Majid with those like I said, more bedded in tyre, I guess. Majid playing defensive in the first corner. Yeah, we'll look down the track while they race into the first corner. There you go. And Majid holding ground. But now there's another straight that Bazza can have an attack on board with the Baz as he tries to find an inch on Majid, but not in this corner. And Majid stays in 6th place, Bazza in 7th. One to keep an eye on, though. We'll come back to this in a sec as Jim leads the way. He's on his 4th lap of those softs, so he's got one more lap to go after these. Snorlax ahead of the Alien. Snorlax is ahead of the Alien. What the mother beeping Hubbard has gone on here, where Homesick Alien came out of the pits ahead of Snorlax, and somewhere along the line it looks like Homesick Alien has had a boo-boo, and Snorlax has retaken the position, and Homesick, maybe he's turned his engine down already because we thought we were worried about his fuel levels. And Snorlax then crossing the line some 6 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien already, using that extra fuel to great advantage. Possibly a no of 53. That was definitely a mistake from the Alien. That's not fuel saving. If he's fuel saving with 53, he's all the way to the end. He's going to find himself behind the Brown and Ensign Newer. Ensign Newer at 9 seconds still behind the Brown, but the Brown's only 5.5 seconds behind Homesick Alien, which is a worry. Homesick Alien, the Brown's definitely got enough fuel to get to the end where we're not sure about the Alien. And Snorlax looks set to turn that pole into a win, but let's not get carried away. Jim's got to get that final pit stop out the way at the end of this lap, and has he done enough to pull away from Racer Brown? 18 seconds. I don't think it's tight. It's tight is all I can say. It's going to be tight. He's got to fuel up. I don't think he can. I think he's looking more at Ensign Newer, staying ahead of Ensign Newer than he is a Racer Brown. But we will see at the end of Jim's pit stop where it spits him out in the pack. And here he comes then around that final corner into the pit lane. Does Jim go? And a great stop he needs there. Snorlax then will retake the lead of this race. And apart from that one little blip between the last 2 pit stops, he's led the whole race. There he goes, Homesick Alien. Wow. Something happened. Something terrible happened on lap 24. And he lost a shed load of time. And Racer Brown, relentless as he is just bringing it to him. And there we go. He's getting the fuel in now. Ensign Newer is showing ahead. Now, I almost could have put money on Jim was going to get ahead of Ensign Newer, and now I'm not so sure as Ensign Newer goes through the first few corners. Baz is coming in along the line. Jimbo's out into the pit lane, and yeah, no, I think Ensign Newer's gone. I think he's halfway down the road, so I was wrong. I thought Jim was going to come out ahead of him, and it looks like he's going to be behind Bazza and Majid, which really surprises me. Very much surprises me. I am bewildered by that. Majid somehow has ended up behind the Baz. The Baz out wide. I thought he was spinning that bad boy then, but he didn't. He didn't do it, but Bazza has caught up Majid and got by him. But Majid's coming back at the Baz. Oh, Majid's dropped it. And Jim will like that. Jim will love that. As he's got some ground to make up. What happened? Jim's thought he was on a good one. Snorlax then, 6.5 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien. And Homesick Alien, I don't know. He did a 41 last time around, which Snorlax did as well. But it's how quickly Racer Brown is catching him. He's doing 40s as they're doing 41s. I think Racer Brown is going to cause Homesick Alien some stress before the end of this race. We've got 15 minutes to go of the race. Ensign Newer then in a strong fourth. I said he was going to lose that position to Jimbo, and I was totally wrong. And Majid has stayed ahead of Jim. He's got it going again after falling off the road, but Jim only 2 seconds behind him. Most of them are about half a tank of fuel going into the last 15 minutes. And Bazza 6.2 seconds behind Ensign. Ensign's tyres a little more worn than the Baz, but I think Bazza's not going to catch him at this point, but stranger things have happened. And Racer Brown, did he have a bad lap? Because he's lost a bit of ground, I think, to the Alien. The Alien now going into the 40s. 6 seconds, though, to find in the next 14 minutes. Seems like a fate too far for Homesick Alien, and he might have to concede the win on this one. And, I mean, in all fairness, I think he can afford it with the points. Well, he might not be able to. He's 8 points ahead of Snorlax. So, I can't remember how the point system works. I'll try and quickly find it. $20 points for a win, and Homesick Alien gets a point for the fastest lap, and it's 18 points for second. But and you get a pole position point as well. So Snorlax on to make 21 points here, and the Alien on to make 19 points. So 2 points. Homesick drops to Snorlax, so he can afford that. Best that than throw it off the road. He is slowly catching up with Snorlax, but I'm just saying you don't want to risk everything. It's not a championship decider, and he's got to be wary of who's 4 seconds behind him. And he's in a very strong position in the championship as he's dropped around already, and he's on 57 points, which is only 13 points behind the Homesick Alien. So Homesick Alien hasn't dropped around. His worst round, Homesick Alien so far, is 16 points. So Homesick Alien will be dropping 16 points where Racer Brown won't. That'll put Racer Brown ahead of Homesick Alien. So Racer Brown sitting pretty, really. 4 seconds behind the Alien, who's 5 seconds behind Snorlax. And Ensign Newer is 6 seconds ahead of the Baz. Seconds ahead of Majid. Thought Baz's fuel was flashing then. And Jim is 3.5 seconds. Which, in all fairness, I know Jim, he's in 7th, but he was 10 seconds off the pack on lap 1. And that is some job pulling that one back, I've got to say. So even though Jim is probably not gaining any positions in this race, especially as he was up there fighting for the lead, he's had a great drive, in my opinion. Snorlax then, talking about great drives, pole and leading for most of the race, hasn't put a foot wrong, and he's looking quite nice as we come up to the last 11 minutes of this race. And Homesick Alien, like I said, he's looking over his shoulder more than he is chasing Snorlax, I believe, as Racer Brown is on fire and he's chasing down the Alien like he owes him money. Ensign Newer 18 seconds behind Racer Brown, and he's got Baz 2.5 seconds behind him. Baz doing a 41.7 last time out. Ensign Newer a 44.7. My word, Ensign Newer's lap time starting to drop away. So he's 8 tenths down on his fastest, and Baz at 2 seconds. So Ensign Newer, he cannot make another mistake at all for the rest of this race, or he's going to lose that 4th place to Bazza. And Bazza would quite happily take that off him. As Baz is in a battle with Jimbo. Jimbo's just ahead of Baz. Jim's on 49 points, Baz is on 42 points, and Jim finishing 2 positions down. So Baz would love to get that 4th ahead to really get into that battle with Jim. And Guesty not turning up. It's going to put him behind them guys. Ensign Hewitt's on 53 points. Only 4 points ahead of Jim. So Ensign Hewitt, he could do with the points as well. He could do without Bazza taking the points away from him if he catches him. But it's 3 seconds again now. I thought he was catching. 3.5 for Homesick and Racer Brown. Looks like the fuel was nothing to be concerned with at all. He's got over a quarter of a tank left. And yeah, Snorlax, even though it hasn't affected him really in the race, he did overfuel his car in that final pit stop. Let's have a look. I think we've missed some power chat. Snorlax looks to be burning fuel quicker than Homesick as the fuel gap came down there, and there is an 11% gap again now. Yes, and Pat saying, I think there was a spin for Homesick in the first left in the middle sector to swap the positions over. Looked like a couple of arrows quite close together on track. Oh, there you go. See? Pat's on it more than I am. Bloody hell. So I'm going to have to raise my game. Pat's showing me up in the chat. So Snorlax 5.3 seconds ahead of a Homesick Alien, with Racer Brown is catching hand over fist. Homesick Alien is in the 40s. 40.6 last time around, but Racer Brown 40.2, and Homesick Alien is going to have a very difficult 8 minutes left on his hands as the sun lowers. And that's a whole day at Brazil racing. It started early morning, this track, and it looks like we're going into the evening now. Early evening, they've got the red lights on. And Homesick Alien 3 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. Ensign Hewitt some 21 seconds behind of the Brown, and only 5 seconds ahead of Majid. Oh my god, Bazza is behind the Jim, and Jim is up. He's up into 6th place, only 2 seconds behind Majid as well, with fresher tyres. And Jim goes across the line with a 40.7, Majid doing a 41.0. So only 3/10, but still, a gain is a gain is a gain. And Ensign Hewitt, lonely race for him. He can't make a mistake because Majid's not too far behind, but there's nothing ahead of him he can chase either. Racer Brown 3.2 seconds from the Alien, and this is the close battle we've got on track at the moment. For 2nd place is Homesick Alien, who looked like he got the win sorted after the pit stops, but as Pat surmised, thinks he had a little half spin in the second corner, did he say? And that's what gave Snorlax the opportunity. I'm tired, guys, look at me. Snorlax the opportunity to get through. Pat saying, I did have to rewind a bit to see what happened. I'm not that good. Oh, I thought you were there. All knowing, all it's like Neo from Matrix. I thought you could see everything. See the world in just lines of code. Good old Neo. So Snorlax 5.2 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien. Racer Brown 3 seconds, hasn't gained, hasn't lost, just keeping that tension there for us, bubbling under like a first date. We're not going to get a sly finger in or not. Ensign Hewitt in 4th place. Majid 7.5 seconds behind Ensign. Jim's on the move. Jim fancies the Samurai. Look at Jim go. Those fresh racing hards are absolutely doing wonders for him. And Jimbo is up and into 5th place. And I had him all but counted out. But it's something that's got into Jim. And he is on his way, but Majid trying to come back. But he cannot get the job done as the sun goes down on us here at Brazil. And Jim is now up into fifth. He's getting flashed for some reason by Majid. I don't know why. We don't really like distraction moves. You can flash someone like once or twice to say don't do that. But you can't just go all the way down the straight flashing. And Majid then all up in Jim's business. Oh, maybe he's got the controller. Maybe Majid drives on a controller and that's him turning the corner, is the flashing. But he's got to be careful. It is in the rules about excessive flashing when you're chasing someone down. And he's flashing again. Majid, come on, my friend. Don't do it. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. Do it on the racetrack, not with flashing people. Bazza then chasing them down. Snorlax, oh, what has happened? Snorlax, oh, famously, come the end of the race, he loves a little drama, and he's had a half spin. Homesick Alien is on scene. He's not passed yet, though. Snorlax, come on, keep going, my friend. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, God almighty, what did we just witness there? Snorlax, we're rooting for you out here, my friend. We want you to keep this one. Oh, win would be so sweet for you right now. And Homesick Alien's heart is now thrusting through his chest because now he can see that win that he gave up on is back on the horizon. And Racer Brown has really gained on the Alien as well. And this is closing up for a rather sweet treat for us at the end of the race. Snorlax's car has fixed itself. It's because they're both new this season, okay? And my brain's starting to shut down. And Snorlax then, oh, he's only a second. This one is going to be tight all the way to the end. And Skyjacker in the chat saying it's very close after drops. So, ooh, after the drop scores, seems like it's going to be a tight squeeze for everyone. And Homesick Alien chasing down what he thought was not a win anymore could possibly be a win. And Racer Brown not taking part in qualifying, starting from the back. They're in a podium position, but only 2.2 seconds off a win. Snorlax, come on, Snorlax, come on, my son. You can do this. Steady Eddie, man. Get in your own heads. Don't worry about what's happening behind you. They're just a couple of aliens and they're going to fight it over themselves soon. That would be perfect for our man Snorlax, wouldn't it, eh? If Homesick Alien and Racer Brown get into something. And Homesick Alien has got the bit between his teeth now. He really wants a piece of that Monster Energy Swift Suzuki in front of him. And Racer Brown is just there, but Racer Brown's tyres are a little worse than the two ahead of him. And these two are gonna tough this one out all the way to the end. Less than 2 minutes to go. So another lap after this one for show. And it's gonna be a tight finish here in the SEC, the Suzuki Endurance Cup, Suzuki Swift Endurance Cup Challenge Championship. And Snorlax 6/10 ahead of the Alien with Racer Brown right there. Ensign Newer all on his own. He's 8 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim's had an amazing race. Majid down in 6th with Bazza in 7th, and it's Snorlax leading only just as we go into the final lap of this race, and there's no mistakes can be made for Snorlax now, and he's got to be on it for the whole of this lap because Homesick Alien will pounce. And he's going to get a tow down here. Snorlax already going over to be defensive against the Alien. He comes back out onto the racing line. They're both on the brakes into that corner. And Snorlax trying all he can to keep the Alien behind. Homesick Alien right on his bumper. Homesick Alien trying to draw up alongside Snorlax. Snorlax staying defensive on the inside there, and he stays. But now Homesick Alien's shuffled it through. He did the old Ricciardo swap, and he's through, and he's up, and he's in the lead of the race. And Snorlax. It's not over yet. We've still got a couple of corners to go, and we've seen Snorlax give as good as he gets against the Alien. He's right on his bumper. He's had a little bump, but Homesick Alien's still there. Oh, they're side by side coming down the hill to the final corner, but it's Homesick Alien ahead of Snorlax, and Snorlax trying everything he can on the brakes. Homesick Alien's on the inside. It's a drag race up the hill, and it looks like Snorlax got the better drive through the corner. Now it's a chase up the hill, and it could be 3 wide as Racer Brown tries to join them, and Homesick Alien drops behind Snorlax to get a tow to the line. And my good golly gosh, we do not know who's going to cross the line first, and Snorlax just ahead, and it's Snorlax who's going to get the checkered flag. It's Snorlax gets the win. Homesick in second. Racer Brown, take a boo, my son, for that final podium position. Ensign Ewer bringing it home, 4.5 seconds ahead of Jim, and happy that the end of the race has come, because his tyres are halfway there, and Jim, he's just like Bon Jovi. Whoa, halfway there. So Ensign getting a fine 4th, though, against some people he's racing against in the championship. And Jimbo comes home in 5th. What a turnaround for his race. Majid with his flashing comes home in 6th. And the Baz comes home in 7th. He lost a chunk of time at the end of this race. Has he just been trying to get that fuel to last? I think he has. Hasn't he? Yeah. And he comes home in 7th. But it's Snorlax with his first pole and his debut win in the VRC. Well done, Snorlax. Welcome to the club, man. You get to go in the special room in Discord. Pat saying 0.040. What a finish. More of that one, please. And Ensign Hewitt saying, congratulations, Snorlax. Whew, we all need a rinse down after that bad boy, don't we? And we get to see Snorlax's rear derriere, which I'm looking quite forward to. Wonderful. So 60 minutes of Interlagos, chucked up ourselves a beautiful race. And Snorlax after taking pole and having the change of the lead with Homesick Alien more than a couple of times, ends up victorious. Brilliant stuff. Homesick Alien coming home in 2nd. Racer Brown starting from the back of the grid gets that final podium position, and Ensign next in 4th. Jim 5th. Majid getting 6th against Bazza in 7th. And we all had ourselves an absolutely glorious time racing around here at Interlagos. Ensign Hewitt saying, I have my strat written down so I don't mess up my laps. There you go. He doesn't have to count laps. Homesick Alien saying, congratulations, Snorlax. Great race, mate. And Majid saying, great job, guys. It was wonderful, wasn't it? This long bit at the end here, it seems to be milking it a little bit. Old Snorlax's first win. He's really going for the glory here in his parade lap in. Lap of glory, or whatever it is. Come on, then. How long's the time? See, they get to see the timer, but as a viewer, we can't see how long's left. We don't know when it's going to count down. But Snorlax then, great job, Snorlax. Brilliant stuff. And there they go. Here we go. We get to see his rear derriere. There, lovely. Well, we can't really see the definition of it. It's too dark, isn't it? Need him in some lighter overalls. Need some VRC on those overalls, mate. Is he a Mercedes fan? Do you think? So, there we go. Woof. Woof. Baz has left already. Disgrace. He's disgusted. And I'm scaling saying sorry about the timer. I don't mind that it takes a while you drive around, because all they're doing is looking at this screen anyway. It's not like we've got a results screen to go and look at like we used to have. So it's not terrible that you're driving around. It's just because I never know. I never know how long the timer is. So because I don't get a countdown. So I never want to get into something, start going through the cars and talking about their positions to only get halfway down and then it all just disappears. So that, my friends, was round 5 of the Suzuki Endurance Cup. Next Tuesday, we're in for a right treat, Bathurst. So join us next Tuesday for a glorious, glorious race around that Aussie mountain. We might see some roos if we look hard enough. Then, well, that's next Tuesday, but first of all, this week, we've got the WRX Challenge, and it's on the dirt at Colorado Springs. Yeah, see the South Park, folks? I'm going down South Park and find myself time. Friendly faces everywhere, checking letters anywhere. Homesick Alien, I've read that one, read that. Homesick, yeah, read that. Pad Chat. I did notice the Hamilton helmet in the onboard. There you go. Racer Brown saying, well done, Snorlax. Looked like a good race with Homesick and you. And Racer Brown saying, thank you, Thingy, much appreciated. That's all right, my pleasure. Pat saying, yay, Bathurst, can't wait to watch that one. It's going to be a cracker, Pat. Cracker-lacker, especially if it's anything like this one. And the last race, since they've settled the rules down of the Suzuki Endurance Championship, it's Cup. It's been a delight. It's been great. So, yeah, long live the SEC. So on Thursday, before he closes the room down, he's not as rude as Skyjacker though. He does leave the room open. On Thursday, we've got Colorado Springs with those crazy Subarus, and that championship is heating up after Anton Boyka. You got Daz, Homesick, Cthulhu, all in it. So join us for that. Friday night, we've got some Group 4 prestigious cars. A Group 4 exhibition. We've got some Group GT4 cars, fancy ones like Ferraris and Aston Martins racing. So check us out Friday evening. There is a stream I still have to bring to you, the Vipers, but I don't know when I want to slip that one in. It'll probably be over the weekend. And that's everything, I believe. That's the whole roster, my friends. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. It's always a pleasure to scream and shout at you guys. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Anita Bang. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Peace and love. Oh, any more last chats? Hang on. I was getting a bit ahead of myself. Majid saying, Thingy, you got my message on Discord. Did I? Did I? When? Ages ago, I got your one. I think I answered you. Oh, right, no, yeah, I'll read that in a minute. Sorry, I missed that one. Didn't see it. Apologies. I'll read it in a bit. Skyjack saying, I only close it when you're blabbering on aimlessly. What, like now? And Mama Homesick saying, thanks, Thingy. Great commentary, as always. Well done, all. That was a great race. I tell you what, I don't know if it was too hot tonight. I was getting a bit sleepy. Oh, well, getting a bit sort of like, not tired. Just, I was getting that sort of swirly head feeling. Anyway, that's it, innit? I got to the end. Peace and love. Peace and love, y'all. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.